NSFW, what's the most awkward boner you've ever had?
Like and subscribe, or else these'll be in your bed tonight.
During an improv rehearsal, a new girl had joined the group that day and was absolutely stunning. First scene we did together, she dropped to her knees in front of me and hugged my legs in despair. To my dismay, my body instantly and involuntarily reacted. I figured I'd be okay, no one would notice, right? Well sure, except her next move was to spring up and hug me tightly. She felt it. She never said anything, but she felt it. He can't show me, but he has a gun. Glad you ask. I was 15 and just a few weeks into my new job as an apprentice Sparky. I got picked up in the morning by the boss. We drove to the job, and on the way I got a travel chubby. What can I say? I was 15. These things happen. Anyway, I tucked it into my waistband. We got to the job, and I got out desperate to prove myself. I started getting things out of the van. Tools, cable, all that stuff. My boss walks around to my side of the van and says, I'm gonna go see the client, get the keys and you can take the cable. Rolls over the main door. After you put your cock away, I look down and realize I've tucked my cock under my waistband as planned, but outside my shirt. In the gym, it was a boxing class and I ended up with a female partner and apparently getting punched repeatedly by a woman. Will do it for you. Also, tight gym shorts meant there was no hiding that thing. The one where I was in my room masturbating and my dad opened the door moments before I was about to orgasm. So I quickly pull my shirt down over my boner, which is lying flat on my stomach, and make eye contact with my dad as I bust a nut. I'm looking at my dad and talking to him while giving myself a cummy tummy. Working in a hotel, in the staff lift with a cute little female chef. Can't remember how it came about. We weren't talking dirty or flirting, but she said I could spank her anytime. Within 2 to 3 seconds I had a huge, rock hard boner showing through my thin uniform pants. We were standing facing each other, and she glanced down. When she saw the uncomfortable / guilty look on my face, I still remember the way her eyes grew so big. It was an awkward lift ride after that. I never got to spank her either. She said you could spank her in a non-flirting way. Or you mean it was like a joking flirt? There is no situation when a girl tells you to spank her that isn't flirting. What if she is holding 2 very hot coffees and has a mosquito on her butt? Okay, you got me with that one. I was napping in my boxer shorts when my female cousin bursts through the door crying. She's trying to tell me her boyfriend was outside getting beat up by a couple of goons. I jump up half asleep, grab a bat, and run out the door with no shirt and a very noticeable hard-on. I run full speed down the block in sandals wielding a bat and chased them off the block. It might have been the adrenaline, but my dick stayed hard the entire time. Strapped down to a gurney in a pool, surrounded by people for first aid training. The instructor yelled, "Call a lumberjack, we got wood," and everyone started to laugh. Seeing as that was the worst cock-involved incident to happen to me in Boy Scouts, I think I was pretty lucky. You just reminded me of my time in EMT training. The majority of us were college-aged kids looking to get certified in order to gain healthcare experience for future endeavors in the medical field. One student was a 17-year-old boy. He was really advanced academically and was just getting a head start on things, so he was getting certified with us. Well, we get to the day where we practice backboarding, which involves 2 EMTs and 1 patient. Our teenage buddy was our patient, while 2 attractive college girls strapped him to a gurney in front of the whole class. Poor little fella didn't stand a chance. I was 16 and staying abroad with relatives. First time I'd been there. Not a virgin, but not far off it. Wake up with usual morning rage. A 17-year-old girl runs and almost straddles me whilst I'm lying on a futon and gives me a big hug with a "Oh my god, so good to meet you." She realized exactly what was going on immediately as the sentence started to fail away. I didn't know who she was, but she rolled off super quick and had the good grave to pretend it didn't happen. She is a cousin I hadn't met before, and we were both fucking mortified. Fast forward 18 years and we are all at a wedding and drinking. She decides now is a great time to tell that story. We all had a laugh, but I got called Derek by the rest of the cousins for the rest of the night. Also, my missus still thinks this is hilarious and brings the story up occasionally. I'm still fucking embarrassed. Should have fucked her right then and there. Oh Alabama, I miss you. Alexa, play Sweet Home Alabama. In Spanish class, the teacher was making us go up to do our presentations. It was alphabetical and my name is Midlish. I must have been about 13 BTW. Somehow, random boner appeared and this was near the start. Cool. I'll just flex muscles and get rid of it. 10 minutes later the rager is still there, stronger than ever. More time passes and then it's my turn. I sort of just sit still. I don't wanna get up, because if I do, not only will my class see my boner, but the teacher will too. And since she is the only female in the room, she'll think it's over her. It wasn't. It wasn't over anyone. Just a shitty random boner. So I continue to sit still, and she starts getting mad, threatening to call the senior leadership team. I stay silent. I'm not even scared anymore as I realize I can just sit here till it goes. She calls the deputy head and the whole class is loving that I'm refusing to move a muscle, apart from constant thigh flexing in hope something happens. Then, I feel it slowly going. It takes a minute, but then it goes. I get up and go to the deputy head's office. I'm sure they think I'm retarded or autistic and there's no way I'm gonna tell them the truth. So I just say I got stage fright and that the teacher was really scaring me and humiliated me. Got away with it all, and if I remember correctly, up until I dropped Spanish, that department never did presentations again. I had a lump on my testicle, so the doc sent me for a sonogram. I was already nervous about it, but felt some relief when an old overweight nurse called me back to the room. I strip down to nothing, put on the gown and hop up on the table. This'll be easy peasy. Suddenly I hear, "Mary, they need help in MRI." Someone was stealing my Mary. A few minutes later a beautiful brunette 20 something walks in. Instead of the figure wrecking scrub top she's wearing a tight t-shirt. She picks up the gel, warmed by the way, grabs my junk, and squirts it on. A few seconds later she asks if I mind if she dims the lights so she can see the screen better. I'm in a dim room with a beautiful woman massaging warm gel on my testicles while she holds my penis in her other hand. No amount of chanting "the royals are gonna win" the pennant in my head was going to stop the inevitable. Edit. The waiting room was right outside the door and my wife was laughing when I walked out. Edit. After hearing how many people got a towel, I'm starting to wonder if mine didn't get lost in the shuffle of personnel, or even worse, the tech thought alright old man, if you're just gonna let it fly, I can handle that. Now it's even more embarrassing. At least your wife was understanding and chill about it. We are old. Been together for 30 years. She knew what was going on. I was about 16 and thinking of becoming a doctor. I got to work shadow an orthopedic consultant surgeon with another student from my boys' school and actually went into the operating theater. We had to wear those baggy green scrubs. Watching a couple of geriatrics get hip and knee replacements was cool. Then a beautiful blonde woman in her late 20s was brought in naked, and we both ended up in that embarrassed hands clasped over groin pose. Not me, but I remember in middle school, one of the 8th grade girls grabbed a random 6th grade boy, kissed him in the hallway, and then proceeded to make fun of him by pointing out his boner to everyone in the hall. Looking back, I feel so bad for that kid. Edit. Reddit, a place where you can get lots of internet points from telling of the misfortune of others. Not my boner, but some kid *s boner. Went to the zoo with my GF, having a good time and stuff. While standing at the lemurs enclosure, a mother with her little boy, who was sitting in a buggy, came around and watched the lemurs. I didn't notice it at first, but this boy's mom was trying to get his hands out of his pants mumbling to him, "No, it's okay. He *s going to be small again." I just continued watching the lemurs mating. Mom to a 3-year-old here. At least the kid isn't like mine and says loudly, every time almost, "My penis is big" in a whinny voice. Random boners start much younger than I ever realized. 7th grade. Get to English class and the cute girl that sits next to me is talking to me. We sit at tables, small tables that you have one desk mate. Anyway, she starts telling me about her weekend and how she went swimming in her new bikini. Zing. Class starts and we are talking about a book. The teacher to tell a story has 5 people in the class stand up as if they are the 5 characters. I got up gingerly and used my book to cover myself. I was safe. Then the teacher, while telling the story, forgot a line. He grabbed my book out of my hands, so he could read the line.